that I couldn't do with you by my side. And I wish we could love again the way it was way back then. So you and I would never end. Oh.
This is Relationship Rebirth. And as you can see, I'm not Makita. Makita had to fly back east to take care of some business. You know, she's an artist and she's doing some things. She's been with Rolls-Royce, and that's her latest gig. She's been the lead singer for the group Rolls-Royce. You know, the car wash and all that other stuff. I Want to Get Close to You, Wishing on a Star, and a lot of other things that she's been involved with. So she's not with us tonight, but I am. I'm D-Nice. And tonight I have a very special guest. This young lady has come to me, and I told her, look, we're not doing interviews tonight. What we do on this show is we just talk about these things that you're involved with, where you've been, and where you're going. And that, to me, is called chopping it up. So tonight, we're going to chop it up with this young lady. And she gave me her name as Carrie Lynette Stringfellow. English, I think. Okay? Yes. So with that being said, you know what? It's a time for you to sit back for the next 30 minutes and just let us entertain you. Welcome to the show, young lady.
Thank you so much for
Hey,
having
you're just so cute. Oh. Yes, I know, huh? Okay. So let's talk about a few things.
Yes.
Now, I know that you've been an actress and you've studied that. You're working in a field where you like, okay? But it's not always been that way.
Right.
So we're going to take a little step back into the youngster era.
Okay.
Tell us, start out, where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Moreno Valley, California.
Okay.
2 hours
Okay.
southern and inland. We're the
Valley girl. Okay,
Valley
I got you.
girl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Been there for like forever. My parents, like my dad was a teacher, my mom was a nurse. He would commute from like East LA back to Moreno Valley. I don't know why he chose Moreno Valley, but
Right.
that's that life. So yeah.
I got you. So you understand the California weather, lifestyle,
All that.
hustle and bustle.
Exactly.
All that. Okay.
All that.
So in doing that, as you were growing up with a father as a teacher and a mother in the health professional, what I know you had options for later on in life in school. So at what time, I know you didn't start out saying, oh, I want to be an actress, I want to be a model. I'm sure we're going to get to that part now.
Okay,
But what were your basic likes in school?
I loved to read. I loved reading. There was one point, like, I had a teacher who was like, I was reading like a really thick book at not thick, but like not a book that a regular second grader would
second grade
would be learning. So I
Right.
had like one of those like fifth grade, seventh grade like type books, and I was so pissed. It's a random story, but like. We're at the library, and it's like, oh, great, I get to go to the library and pick up at a book. And then, like, the teacher's like, I suggest you get this book. And it was, like, Brown Bear.
Wow.
And we had reading time, and I got through Brown Bear, like, 2 or 3 times, and I was like, where's my other book? Like,
Right.
That was a little annoying.
Right.
So I loved reading. That was one of my pastimes. Reading, playing Barbies, like, singing, dancing.
I got you. So when you got a chance to read that book, that's when you decided you loved reading enough to try to challenge your mind and get more in depth on the reading aspect. When you want to pull a big book out as a little kid, either something's wrong with you or you're trying to get something to prop you up. You know what I'm saying? For the look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was your first introduction, letting people know you're ready to read.
Yes,
and communicate.
Yeah. And like I know my parents would say like they used to be able to like reprimand me by not reading me a bedtime story.
Oh, cruel.
So it was one of those like, oh, you didn't read me a bedtime story. I'll cry,
Right.
type of thing.
Right. Okay. I like that because they knew how to just scale you back.
Exactly.
Take away the books.
Right.
Okay. So that's what kind of like molded what you would become later.
Definitely.
Although you didn't know it at the time.
No.
Because you could have taken the pathway as a school teacher, I'm sure.
Right.
Or something along the line, because in reading or whatever, that's fundamental.
It is.
Okay. So from that part in time, you going on to the higher grades, did you keep that as your main interest, the reading aspect, or did other components come in?
Well, like, I wanted to do sports because I have two older sisters, Kristen and Connie, and Connie was like the cheerleader, and like, I wanted to do cheerleading, and then my dad's like, we're not going through that again. So
Wow.
that didn't happen.
I got you.
But I was, I fully participated in my high school, like, football, like, as a spectator, so I can, understand football today. But, I don't know. I think I always wanted to, like, perform because, like, Connie was in a show choir called Karen's Kids.
Okay.
And I remember auditioning for it, but I was so nervous. So I couldn't sing at all. So I would be on the side, like, watching my sister Connie at her shows, like, singing and dancing. And then, like, literally making notes in my head of, like, okay, this is what she's doing, like, a little something extra. And I feel like she gave me my first lesson on, like, stage presence and, like, coming alive when you're, like, in front of people, like, on stage. So, shout out.
And what
to her.
age about was that?
Gosh, I think it was like 7, 5,
Wow.
6, 7. Yeah, because
Okay.
we're all 5 years apart. So, like, she was, on stage singing, and I was like, oh, I wish I could, have that courage and wasn't, like, not, too nervous to sing at the audition. But I was like, I'm living vicariously through you, like, on the stage, watching you perform. So, yeah, it was awesome.
So we see where those passions start.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So let's crop ahead a little bit. Okay, going into the junior high aspect, were you still, or high school, were you still following that?
Oh, I was. Yeah, I was in choir. I did choir, and if there was, like, a play at church, I was in play at church.
Okay.
I know in, like, 7th grade, like, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. Because I remember, like, going to some random, like, talent search audition and, like, finding a school, the Beverly Hills Studio that was in Santa Monica, and I would have my dad take me every Saturday from Moreno Valley to Santa Monica to take me to, like, learn, like, commercial technique classes. And taking that, taking that class, I was like, this is what I want to do. This is what makes me happy. This is what I want to continue doing in my life. So,
Gotcha. So at the time you did the transition from the lower ages up until you started doing it as far as studying that.
Yes.
Okay. At that time you said, okay, this is what I want to do. Before you said this is what I like to do.
Right.
The transition that you went through must have been a little learning curve. Because we're talking to some young ladies that are looking at you right now saying, okay, I'm at this stage, I'm at this stage. So that's why I'm trying to walk them through the stages.
Exactly.
So trying to levitate from the time you saying, okay, this is what I want to do, and taking the actuality of saying, this is what I am going to do. What was that transition? How did you get to that transition?
I don't know. It was like, it was just, how did I get to that track? It was just like life just, I guess, evolving, and then just, because I had the idea, and I guess, like, the thoughts, and then just, like, I guess spirit was guiding these, like, opportunities and things of, like, in which, okay, she likes it, let's go and send her to a school that she can study, let's be a part of the play, join the choir, like, be in the drama club. I know in high school there was, like, a crossroads, because there was, like, we had 4 periods in high school. And it was like, you can either run track in 4th period, or I can go and study theater and, like, be in the drama club. So I was like, sorry, I can't, I'm not running. And I probably could have, like, ran and, like, got a scholarship for running, but I was like, I don't want to run. I'd rather be in the theater and act. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, because you're told if you could be a great runner, I'm sure your stride is great.
I was like
Sure.
a mid-distance runner. Like, people would, like, tease me and, like, be like, oh, she's, like, crying when she's, like, when you finish the race, because my breathing patterns was like, and I was like, I swear to you, I'm not crying. I'm just catching my breath.
Right.
So
at that time you said, this is not what I want to do.
No, that's okay.
Too much exertion.
Basically, you know.
Right. I like it. I like it. So at that time, okay, you said, okay, this is not it. This is what I want to do, the theatrical aspect of it, because you knew what it consisted of. You knew the consistency. You knew the dedication.
Right.
You had tried it, and you're saying, okay, I can work with this. Okay, so at the time you made that change, how did that buckling down affect? Because I'm sure you had a social life, or this life, a parent life, or, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sure there were other things that were pulling at you. So at what point did you just say, okay, all things to the wall, let me start just carving my time out to do this and put your dedication? Talk about that transition.
Well, I remember I had some really fantastic mentors like Norwood, Mr. Norwood. I can't think of his first name. I know his wife's name was Carrie, which was awesome. He was like, okay, well, he was my high school drama teacher, and he's like, you like theater? Okay, Carrie, you need to go to New York. You need to go to New York. So that little thing was in my head. I was like, well, I guess I got to go to New York. And then I had an English teacher who was also like, you like theater?
Right.
You're in high school, go to New York. Like, leave California and go to New York. So I had that in my head, like, okay. And always in high school, I just was like, what is, I can't wait to get out of here. Like, this was fancy. Like, it's fun. I wasn't really like the cheerleader because life didn't allow that. And like, it was like the drama kid, and like, I just felt like I just was just over the fact of just this whole social like construct of like education, not education and like, yeah, you got to go to school and all that other stuff, but then just being corralled into these classes to learn what with these type of people who I probably am not going to speak to after graduation. So I just knew like I wanted more than what Moreno Valley was able to offer me. So yeah.
Now the personality that I'm seeing right now seems to be a little reserved, a little upbeat. So many consistencies are wrapped into one person and personality. So I don't know if that is something that you brought on at an early age, because it seems like there's a little shyness in there too.
Oh my God, I'm painfully shy. I still am shy. I choose
to be. Where?
I am.
Okay.
There's points where I can be like, just nervous. Not being like, not that I just don't know what to say. This person seems super awesome, but I was like, what am I going to say? What am I going to talk to them about? You know, but if I allow myself to take a deep breath and like let things flow, it's better when I let things flow.
But you're in good company, because Barbara Streisand is one of the sharpest singers all times. I'm going to tell you, the girl is on it.
Fantastic.
And it took her a long time for her to admit to the world that she was stage fright. That's why she doesn't do too many concerts. But then I thought it was Management 101, because if you get ghosts for a minute, people are going to really look for you, and they pay the ultimate price.
True, exactly.
But honestly, she does have a stage fright issue, because she was great on film even.
Yes.
I mean, everything she did and touched her hand, it was just so, you're like, okay, you go tell us you're shy. But there are people out there that regulate from two sides.
Yes.
There's a shy side, and there's the other side saying, okay, here I am, this is where I can expose what I have inside, and I can be shy, and you embody that other part. And it's really interesting to find people that can do that. And it seems like you've been able to master that. Because I can see the shyness part of you there, but then I know you know how to rise above that when it's time for you to do that.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're talking to some young ladies out there now that are going through that don't know how to dissimulate and separate. But you've been able to do it. So tell us a little bit of your secrets of how you're able to just consistently turn it on, turn it off. I mean, that's a gift.
I feel like in the 7th grade, I had a motto, and it was Carrie don't care, because like there was a point where I was, you know, like every other 7th grade young kid is being like teased because like you are wearing glasses, you're tall, you're skinny, 4 eyes, long legs, whatever, like, and I just was like, Carrie don't care. Like, if I don't care what you think about me, like, you know, I could just get on with this life. And then it took even more of just learning just total self-acceptance of who I am right now. And like, now I'm like, yo, you don't like me, that's your problem. Like, I'm not here to like please anybody. But it did take time to just like, this is who I am. I accept myself fully. It's okay. I'm trying to change the things that I can change, but the things that I can't change are just what make me me. Like, you know, I'm not outrightly thinking like I'm better than you, or like, you know, because I know like life has made me humble. Life has like, you know, So just don't mind what people think about you, and then just follow your own heart, because those things that people tease you about are your like those special gifts.
Those quirks.
Those quirks.
Yeah, that you can draw on when you need them.
Exactly. Those quirks are like your weapons for like that you can, you know, use whenever you choose to.
Right.
In your toolbox. Yeah.
And many an artist has been chosen because of their quirks. You can sit back and say, okay, just like a signature sound.
Exactly.
And you'll be like, okay, this is so-and-so.
Right.
Because you can tell a sound. Certain things you say, okay, that's their quirk. That makes them them.
Yes.
So we're going to go back to the pushing, so to speak, of these teachers and mentors that told you to go to New York. did you go?
I did. Not quickly, as quick as I wanted to.
Okay.
Like, I graduated and then I went to RCC, Riverside Community College, and I felt like a total loser. I was like, everybody else transferred and stuff like that. But I'm so thankful because there was like a point where like I was applying to like UCR, USC, all these California schools, like UC Dominguez Hill, Cal State Dominguez Hill, one of the things. All these schools where I thought like, okay, Carrie, yeah, I guess you can do it. And then there was a point where I was like interested in fashion as well too, and that's another one of my also personal passions as well. So I was like, okay, I'm either going to stay in California and study fashion, or I'm going to go to New York and study theater.
Right.
And so I did 2 years of like RCC and got my like associates, and then I was like, okay, it's time to transfer. Let me put some like, my submit to like, put my applications to like schools in New York, and like had like a like walking interview to one of these fashion schools in Los Angeles, and I got into a school in New York. I didn't get into NYU. I cried.
Oh.
But now that I think back, I did do the best monologue for them. And I think I just had the nerves, like, I wasn't as cool with my nerves as I was back then. So, yeah, I was like, whatever. I got into the City College of New York, and then...
The rest is history.
Then the rest is history.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was a trip too.
I got you. So you've done some work out there. You've done some things. Tell us a little bit about some of the presentations you've been in.
Wow. Gosh, it was awesome. It was New York was fantastic. New York was fantastic. It was a really good like learning experience just to be coming from the pond of California and then going into the deep ocean of New York just like ethnicities and like culture and just history, and then just that like subway cha-chunk cha-chunk cha-chunk, that's the sound effect of just like move out of my way. I gotta get somewhere. I gotta get things, make things happen. So out there, I was able to learn how to hustle. Like New York taught me how to hustle.
Oh yeah, we'll or kill you.
Basically, one of the two.
Right.
So New York taught me how to hustle, and like I was able to work with the Harlem Repertory Theater and like do some shows with them, like The Wiz. Gosh, I wrote a short play called It Happened on the Monday, and I was able to produce that like a couple like streets off of Broadway. Like I folded t-shirts at the Marriott Marquis Hotel, like steps away from like in the center Times Square. Like most of my jobs were in that Times Square area, so I was able to see like free theater and Broadway, and I don't know, it just made me like going there, like just made me like really, really appreciate just like the live stage. Like there's nothing that beats it. Nothing that beats acting in front of like living, breathing people. Because if they're excited, they're like, okay, you can feel that energy. If you're boring, like you better do something because I'm like, I didn't pay this much for a ticket, like entertain me type of thing. So yeah,
it's like being at the Apollo. They would throw some eggs, watermelon,
all that,
shoes,
everything
at you.
Exactly,
yeah.
all that.
Okay, so because New York is a cutthroat kind of, but it is a town for the dramatics, the flair.
It is.
There's so much of a difference between there and L.A.
It is.
And so if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I'm telling you, that's real talk.
True.
So now you pretty much have done some work there, and you've got your feet wet, and you're developed there in New York. And so after that one there, what decided to make you decide to get back on that plane and come on back out here?
So I was living my best life in New York. Like I had an apartment in the Bronx. Like you could tell me nothing. I was like, "What? I live in the Bronx. I'm the toughest chick here." Like
right.
Totally got my layer of crocodile skin. I felt like a total like New Yorker and stuff. And then there was a point where like I was serving, and I was just serving as like I was that actress server who was like, booking jobs here and there, but like there was also like LA calling me because my parents are there, my family is there. I didn't have any family in New York. Like I had a sorority like that I founded with 4 other friends on my campus. That became a family that's still on the campus to this day, but like it wasn't real family. Like they're sisters,
right.
but you know, like blood. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then there was always like LA coming, like, come on back, come on and check us out. And I was like, oh, if I don't go there, there was a point where I was like, if I don't go there, like, that's just me being scared. And I
Right.
couldn't be scared anymore. And there was a point where I was starting to, like, because I felt in my head I hadn't made it where I thought I needed to make it, in quotations,
Right.
and I started to self-destruct.
No,
I was starting,
that's understandable. Yeah.
I was starting to self-destruct with, like, you know, just with, like, manifesting the wrong relationships and like being in that New York restaurant life where
Right.
like, yeah, we served all day, we
Right.
made our money, let's go and drink half our money away and
Right,
like,
right.
you know,
Right.
wake up on the subway. I needed
Yeah.
to leave.
Right. That's where you end up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's real talk.
I needed to leave. I needed
Right.
to leave. I needed to leave New York
Okay.
because I wasn't focusing on acting anymore. It was
Exactly.
like other things that I was
Right.
like,
The
okay.
party can take you over.
The party could take
and
you over.
then leave you stranded on the subway.
Literally.
Right.
You
Physically.
could,
Literally all of
literally
that.
and physically.
Right.
You could literally drink in New York City from sunup to sundown.
Right.
And, you know, I had to leave.
You had to go there. Keep your sanity.
Exactly.
So now you're back in LA.
Okay, I'm back in LA.
Okay.
And then it was like, okay, great. I want to, because I moved back in with my parents in Moreno Valley, but everything in, you know, acting and audition wise is in Los Angeles.
Right.
So that was my dilemma. Like, dang, I got to travel 2 hours for audition. And I did.
Right.
I did. But then I felt like I needed some training. I
Okay.
want to get some training. So I found this fantastic studio, the Joanne Barron D.W. Brown School in Santa Monica. Miss Holly Berry graduated, and she studied there. So I was like, yo, she's my girl.
Why not?
I saw her in Boomerang, and I was like, that's another movie that I was like, huh, oh my gosh, she looks like me. I can
Right.
do this. I can totally do this now. So I was
Right.
like, well, I guess I got to go there. So I got accepted into the school, and it was like now finding housing was a hell of a was special. But you know,
Right.
the universe gave me spirits of like people to like chill at this guy's house for a couple minutes, and that didn't work out. Sleeping on my aunt's couch for
Right.
like 9 months out of the whole 2-year program,
Right.
which totally like. New York humbled me down, but then like being on my aunt's couch, sleeping there for 9 months, and like knowing like you're here because you're here because you are sacrificing everything, comfort to study to become better, and that humbled the heck out of me too, because I finished, because life was trying to make you just quit,
Right.
quit. Just quit. Just quit. So you
Yeah.
can sleep in a regular bed. Just
Right.
quit. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep on slinging pasta because I was serving at an Italian restaurant, and bless all those patrons that, you know, I opened their bottled wines and, you know, treated them because they like were they were funding my career. And I would
Right.
tell them, like, I'm an actress. Yeah, you eating here with me and sitting at my table is funding my career, and I appreciate that. So,
And so, but you had already paid your dues. You know what I'm saying?
definitely.
And then you come to LA, and now as I see, I'm surrounded by some posters.
Oh,
And I
yes.
see your picture there. I see your picture there. And some other places, your picture's there. So let's talk about this new project in LA.
Oh my God, it was amazing. I love how it just popped on my lap. It
Okay.
was like, okay, I'm submitting, great, I got this live, and like I went to the audition, and I didn't think I did that well at this audition. I left this audition being like, they don't like me.
Okay.
This isn't
Evidently
gonna
they did,
work.
but okay.
I
Yeah.
was like, I didn't do the best read, type of thing.
Right.
So, yeah, it was awesome to be in Daughters of Legend at its like birth almost, just to
okay.
see how it's like changed and moved, and like during the time that when we reshot, like I went back to the studio, back to the 2-year program, and studied again because there was some quirks of just being able to be still, you know,
right.
because I'm like, but then like that's not gonna help on camera.
No. You had
Stillness.
To, right.
Stillness.
You got to get still.
So.
So what is your part that you play? What role? A little about what this show about?
Daughters of Legend. Gosh, what can I say? I love it because it's like, it's women's empowerment. I play Damali. She's this like sorcerer. I wouldn't say she was evil. She's just very powerful, and
Okay,
whatever
I got you, I got
Damali
you.
wants, Damali gets. You
Okay,
know,
yes.
I know all, I see all, I am all.
Okay.
Like, just
Go ahead. Okay. She got
don't
it.
mess with me. Yeah, it's awesome.
Right, and working with these other cast members,
They're
how's that?
fantastic. Oh my God, Sally Kirkland.
Of course, who cannot know Sally Kirkland, right?
When she hopped on the project, I knew in my heart, I was like, this is going to go somewhere even
Right.
special.
Gotcha.
It was amazing to be able to like go into her home and like have her give us tips. And I was like, oh, she's a legend. Like
Right.
she's worked with so many amazing people. So it's like just to sit at her bedside and like tell me something
Right,
and learn from
Yes,
her. And
that's a
it's
good
just
thing.
amazing to be like how long her career has expanded
And
I
still
just,
going.
and still going. And I wish to be like, to be able to like be in my maturity and all this other life and still be like able to follow those footsteps and continue to
But
do what I
you're
love.
well on your way because the movie is coming out on the 14th of December. Is the preview, right?
Yes.
The red carpet, all the hoopla hopla. So you guys have got to be a part of this grand thing. It's called, once again,
Daughters of Legend.
Daughters of Legend. And this young lady's in it, Sally Kirkland. You guys that know Sally,
Yes.
Sally's multiple Oscar nominated.
Yes.
Golden Globe winner, and she's also here doing her show. So we are just so thrilled, young lady, to have you here, and we look forward to greater things in the future as you use your shyness as well as your boldness
Yes.
to make it happen. So, young ladies, you've heard from her. You don't have to get caught in that rut. If
No,
there's
you don't.
something you want to do, you got to get out and do it. You might not be living in the best of times and the best of things happening, but you know what? She's a good example to let you know she's got it and can do it, and all things are possible. So sitting in today for Makita, this is D Nice, and with Ms.
Carrie Lynette Stringfellow.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
You've been watching Relationship Rebirth. We'll see you next time.
Hey, hey, hey. Do you remember how it was in the beginning? I was so close to you, nothing that I couldn't do with you.